Welcome to the City Council meeting, December 17, 2024. If you please rise and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, I'd like to invite Pastor Joshua Long from First Presbyterian Church to the podium for our invocation. Good evening, sir. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Let us pray. Gracious God, as we gather here tonight, we thank you for all these men and women here who give of themselves for the community. We pray that you would be here among us tonight, giving your blessing to this meeting, and that you would bless these men and women with wisdom, with understanding, and with compassion. Lord, just as you came to earth as a servant leader to care for the poor, the needy, the lost, and the lowly, so we pray that you would lead these men and women to be servants of this community with special care for the poor, the needy, the lost, and the lowly. Lord, may the good news of this Christmas season move us all to reach out in grace and love and forgiveness. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Egner?
Here.
Mr. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Here.
Mr. Akra?
Here.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Here. Mrs. Wilson?
Here.
Approve council meeting minutes from December 3rd, 2024.
So move. I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Abstain.
I would like to take a second to welcome Councilman Wilson back. Obviously, you're had to step away for a little bit, but feeling good enough to come back and be representative.
I thought that's
Here
why
this
everybody
evening.
was here. Just to see my good-looking face.
I'm sure that's probably part of it, but it is very good having you back, sir. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move into presentations now. And we have the Harrison Fire Department here. And while I absolutely love having different presentations and hope to be better about it going into the new year, we have a Christmas gift among us this evening. And it's all because of great citizens. And with that, I'll leave it to you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I appreciate your giving me the opportunity to come up here. I want to recognize three outstanding citizens of our community who not only stepped up and did the right thing, it's something they didn't have to do, and most people typically don't get involved in a situation like this. But we had a gentleman that collapsed, and I'll read the citation here in a little bit. A gentleman that was working out at Planet Fitness collapsed and went into cardiac arrest. Three members of our community who were there stepped in and performed CPR and gave that guy a chance to be here tonight to tell you his story. If Mr. Schaefer, if you would like to come to the podium a little bit and talk about what happened to you and what's going on with you, and then we'll bring those three local heroes up here, and that's what I think they deserve to be called.
I'm not a public speaker, but I'm Jerry Schaefer, Jerome Schaefer from Oakland, Ohio, Morgan Township. Live right across the street from the Township Fire Department, and like I said, this is all new to me, this kind of stuff. But my daughter told me to take notes, and you can see the notepad's blank. I didn't do it. She said, write down some stuff so you can talk about it so you don't just ramble on. So if I ramble on, cut me off, okay? But no, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, work all day. I'm out in the truck and working all day, and I come back, get a haircut, and I said, I'm gonna go get a workout. So I'm on the phone with my daughter. She's driving in from Chicago. We pass each other on Race Lane in front of Bushelman's farm out there. And, we pass each other and we hang up or whatever. So she was the last one I talked to in the family. And I went to Home Depot, which is real foggy to me. I picked up a kitchen sink and a faucet that I wanted to try to get in before Thanksgiving, but that didn't work. But I did buy it. So I'm at Home Depot. Like I said, that's all foggy. I get my stuff done there, and I go over to Planet Fitness, change, stretch. Just started on the Smith machine. And I don't remember anything until waking up in the hospital. I don't remember anything, nothing. I maybe remember getting dizzy or something ahead of time, but they say I was just changing weights. I was just getting started, so I wasn't from exertion or anything. It was sudden cardiac arrest, and I was at the right place at the right time. I don't know why, but I was. And this booklet here on the, I've got an implant now. I know I'm probably jump around, but I've got an implant now. It was just put in last Monday. It's an extravascular implantable cardioverter defibrillator. So it's inside me now. But I'm on medication for hypertension and high blood pressure, and the medication's supposed to keep me from that ever happening again. But this implant's a backup. And like I said, I was at the right place at the right time. And I know Casey, but I don't reckon. I mean, I work out there a lot at the Harrison Planet Fitness, and I don't recognize your faces. But I'm so glad you guys gave me a hand. You didn't have to. And the paramedics showing up and taking care of the rest of the care of me, and taking me down to the hospital and everything they'd done. I just want to, thank them at the bottom of my heart and my family's heart and all my friends' heart. Thank you. And this booklet, I was just reading this. This was just given me today because I had a it was a follow-up for the implant, which was done just a week ago. 95% people who experience this outside a hospital, it's fatal. I did not know that. I didn't even know what sudden cardiac arrest was. I thought it was a heart attack, and I guess a lot of people do. I didn't know. My dad died of a heart attack. My oldest brother died of a heart attack, but it was blockages. It wasn't this. This might be gene related, genetics. But I did not realize that I'm in the 5% group, and I don't know how that 5% group's doing. I was at the right place at the right time. I was helped immediately. CPR and the AED, and I'm still zoned out about that stuff. About the unbelievable outcome that I've got, and I appreciate Captain Newscaple inviting me out here. And I haven't met him yet, but he knows. Okay, great guy, and the owner of Planet Fitness called me, and she was wonderful. And the captain called me, and so I don't know what else to say, but I appreciate, the city of Harrison and everything, for the fire department and everything they've done for me. And like I said, I was at the right place at the right time. But I wish I had more to say, but I don't know what else to say.
You're good.
We're glad you're still here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Thank you. And if there's anything I can ever do for the fire department or anything, or you guys or anything, I'd be more than glad to do something.
Careful.
What? Careful. Be careful. That's not in my vocabulary, but
Since you brought it up, we're wanting to build a new firehouse. Maybe
I am planning on hitting the lottery. I am doing that, and that'd be my first on the list.
There you go.
I guarantee you that, sir. But I appreciate it, and like I said, I don't know what else I could say.
We are. We're
Thank
glad
you.
that you're here.
Thank you.
Obviously, the good Lord.
Thank you.
Mayor, if you would join us as well, please. It's time if I could have Casey McMahon, Nolan Abrams, and Lieutenant Eric Faffel join me, please. These are the three individuals that saved this man's life. So all three will be presented the Citizens Award under the Harrison Fire Department Standard Operating Guidelines. The award is reserved for non-active members or citizens who distinguish themselves by performing heroic actions involving hazard to life or great personal danger while saving or attempting to save the life of another. The Harrison Fire Department takes great pleasure in presenting the Citizens Award to Lieutenant Eric Faffel, Casey McMahon, and Nolan Abrams for their outstanding performance in initiating CPR and applying an AED on November 27th. A citizen was exercising at Planet Fitness. He collapsed. The citizen quickly became apneic and pulseless. CPR was initiated without delay, along with the application of an AED. The AED delivered multiple shocks, putting the patron's heart back into a normal rhythm, and then ultimately the patient regained consciousness. The patient was then transported to UC Medical Center, where he was later released and expected to make a full recovery. These quick-thinking actions and life-saving measures performed undoubtedly saved this gentleman's life. Excellent job and well done. We are very proud of you. Presented this day, December 17th, 2024. Each one of them will receive a plaque. I think I backwards in order.
It's on the back.
They actually will light up for them.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
we have an actual citation for each one of them that the mayor will give to them. So this is for Casey. I would like you to give that to her if you don't mind. Casey McMahon. Nolan Abrams. Before I forget, Casey is the employee at Planet Fitness. I apologize that I didn't acknowledge that. Nolan was working out there, and so was Lieutenant Faffel. Lieutenant Faffel, also a member of Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, was working out there. Thank you, sir. Again, we thank you very much. Thanks for being here telling your story. It's not too often, even for us us to do this every day. We don't often get to see the patients when they come back out of the hospital. So it's a great opportunity for you to be here and share your story with them. And thank you for letting us do that for you.
Where's everybody going?
So I guess the meeting isn't as fun as I thought it was. So, you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
We'll just give them 1 second.
Great way to end the year.
Yes. It's not often that we have the opportunity to be able to recognize individuals that are just going about their everyday life. And obviously, those 3 individuals stepped in and saved him. Obviously, it could have been a different outcome, but we're very thankful, and obviously, it's a great Christmas present for the family. Okay, we'll go ahead and proceed. We do not have any other presentations, and we have no invited guests or visitors, so we'll go ahead and move into the business session.
Mr. Mayor, did we skip item 3, or did I miss that?
We did
did it.
approve meeting minutes, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I missed
we're
that.
good.
okay.
I skipped a groove.
I thought we had done it. Thank you, though. So the first item in the business session is to vote on a resolution declaring the necessity of renewing a tax levied in excess of 10 mil limitation and requesting the county auditor to certify matters in connection therewith. So this is if we want to proceed with renewing the fire levy that is currently in place. Any discussion?
Is there a Motion made?
I'm sorry?
Was there a motion made?
No, sir.
I didn't hear you.
No, sir. No motion at this time. So earlier this year, we had discussions around new and the fire levy. At that time, it was determined that we did not need to place legislation for the renewal on our agenda. So we moved it to later in this year. In order to stay on track with potentially renewing the levy, we would need to approve legislation, if not this meeting, then early January, to be able to get it on the ballot in time. So it would be a ballot issue, but it's up to you whether we proceed with renewing the levy or not. I know there has been a lot of discussion going multiple different ways, but we need to make a decision on it as soon as possible. If there's no motion, then we will proceed and move on to the next item, and it will be tabled at this time.
Okay.
But I would entertain a
I'd make a
motion
motion to
table.
approve it.
Okay, I have
I'll
one motion,
second.
and I have a second. Roll call?
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
No.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve? No. Mrs. Wilson?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Okay, the motion goes down. Next item. Vote on an ordinance amending the amount appropriated to various funds of the city of Harrison.
Wilson, JW moves to approve.
I'll second.
We have a
Can we
first
get a
and,
brief explanation, if not for us, for the folks watching?
So ultimately, these appropriations are really related to a lot of year-end cleanup. They're just transferring funds to the appropriate fund, moving them out of the general fund into the general fund for some over appropriations. We do have some straight appropriations that are coming through on this. One is for I believe the police department to appropriate the Legion VFW grant funds they received. The same thing for the fire department. They're just appropriating the donations that they received. And that's essentially a summary of the changes.
any other discussion?
Thank you.
Roll call?
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Yay. Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Okay. Do we have any items to add?
Yes, Mayor, I have something to add. I would like to make a motion to allow the fire chief to pursue the hiring of a consultant to guide the city for the safety service plan not to exceed $25,000, and to allow the mayor to begin conversation with landowners for the possibility of future fire sites.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Yay. Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Any other items?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. We add one more agenda item.
Okay, we have a motion. Oh, actually.
What is it?
Second.
So we have to make a motion to add the item, and then we have to do the motion
To approve.
to approve it. So we need to go back.
We made a motion to add.
We made the
Yeah.
made the motion to add the first item. Now we need to make a motion to approve the first item,
Fire thing there.
I motion to approve,
the 25,000.
yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I'm glad you did that.
So,
I'll second.
okay, so now roll call for the 25,000.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Yay. Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Okay, now we come back to Mr. Samuel's motion to add an item. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Nay.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Yay.
In your item?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve an ordinance amending the amount appropriated for the discussion we had earlier related to the splash pad. So this is just the appropriation directly for that splash pad that we held the work session on earlier. It's in the amount of $384,375.75, and that's to initiate the project for the splash pad.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and second. Roll call.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Nay.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Yay. Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Okay. Are there any other items? Okay, so the last we'll go ahead and move into reports. The last item that we actually just discussed, we had a work session. This is something that council has been working on for pretty much the whole year. We received $1 million grant from the state of Ohio for recreational improvements here at the community center. This is the first step that council has decided to move forward with, and that's a splash pad that will be in addition to the playground out here at the community center. The goal would be to get underway with that with this approval. The goal would be to get underway with that, and hopefully in late spring, early summer, that it would be open and available to the residents. Obviously, it's geared for kids, but I could see adults going through it as well. So it should be a great addition. Obviously, it's not a swimming pool, but it is a place to cool off and enjoy hot summer days. The other items that I would like to report on, I did have the opportunity to attend 3 ribbon cuttings over the past couple weeks. The Trading Card Academy opened down on Harrison Avenue down in the district. New U Health and Wellness opened up in the plaza with Big Lots in it, and then 1860 and Aberson's Kitchen opened down, well, they've been open for a little bit, but they had a ribbon cutting ceremony to finalize that union between Aberson's and 1860. Great addition to downtown. Definitely encourage you to eat all the good food from Aberson's and enjoy a cold pint from 1860. So we did have a great Christmas event down in the district. The parade was very well attended. The attendance down in the district was excellent for it being a cold, chilly night. While I did have some problems flipping the switch, it was still absolutely wonderful. And it's always nice to see so many of the members of the community come down and enjoy the district. I do want to thank Kim Sovereign and her team. Once again, you knocked it out of the park, and I thank you for everything that you do. So, and then the Mayor's Fund Christmas toy collection and everything is taking place this Saturday morning from 8 to about 11 up at the high school. I want to thank everybody in the community that took the time to stop and buy a present and drop it in the boxes. We had 36 boxes located around town in different business locations between banks and stores and down here at the community center. I want to thank each and every one of them for having the box out, and then all the people that took the time to drop a toy in the box. With all those donations, we will be able to provide a great Christmas to 360 kids in our community. It's more than double any year previous. We have a lot of families that are in need this year, but thanks to everybody in the community, we're going to be able to provide some excellent Christmas presents for the kids in our community. So, but I also want to take time to thank Church on Fire and their congregation, because they raised $4,000 to go towards gift cards for the older kids. So 13 to 17-year-olds get gift cards because it's hard to shop for them. So they get gift cards, and Church on Fire raised $4,000 in order to buy the gift cards for all the kids. And that was 91 kids that fall into that age range, which is also the largest of any year. So Thank you, thank you, thank you. The last thing that I just want to touch on real quick is, obviously, we had a gentleman here this evening that was very blessed to be in attendance. I think too often we get caught up in our lives, especially this time of year where it's chaos. We're running around trying to do shopping, preparing meals, making cookies and everything else. But it's also the time to slow down and enjoy our families and our friends. So I encourage each and every one of you to take the time to call the person that you haven't talked to in a while. Reach out to the veteran that you know. A lot of loneliness also takes place during the holiday season, and it's the time to set aside all of the chaos and just make those connections. I do want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Happy New Year. Please be safe. I get all the notices, including the call to Planet Fitness, and it's sad to see during the holidays, so please be safe, make good choices, and enjoy your time. So that's all I have. Law Director is not present. He's sick. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I appreciate all the calls, prayers, and stuff that happened from what happened to me. Just to let everybody know, I was home on Sunday the 2nd, and Jane was down at the Legion, and for some reason I decided to go to the bathroom and tripped over one of my dogs. And I did about a 130-degree turn, and my left breastbone hit the corner of a very heavy cocktail table, and I knew immediately that I had broken some ribs. And I called Jean, and she was kind enough to come home and take me down to the VA. And then while we were there, they did a CAT scan and MRI, and they discovered that I had a golf ball-sized tumor on my brain. What was funny was the surgeon said, according to your files, you've had this since 2017. I said, well, did you think there'd be a good time to let me know that? Well, it was just a line across my brain, but it had developed into a tumor. And so he said they could either do radiation, chemicals, or just take it out. And I said, well, hell with it, just take it out. And there's something to be said about getting up on a Sunday morning and thinking everything's good, and then Sunday evening, not really knowing if you're going to be here the next day or not. Kind of tough, but I got dealt a hand of cards, and we play the cards we're dealt. So I talked to the Republicans Committee Chairman. I talked to the Mayor, Vice Mayor Jean, all the council people, and let them know that if they don't think that Jerry Wilson can continue to do his job, that I would be more than happy to step down. But each one of them told me to hang in there, and that's why I'm here tonight, to put forth the effort to do what the voters asked me to do, and that's serve the city of Harrison, Ohio. But thanks to everybody for their prayers. It means a lot. That's all.
Thank you, Jerry. Councilman Egner.
I have no report tonight, Mayor.
Very good. Councilman Abrams.
Real quick, just, Jerry, good to have you back. Glad to see you, and glad you're feeling better. Just a couple quick thank yous to Kim and Matt and the fire chief. They dropped everything, and we had a meeting this morning at 8 o'clock, so thank you. I know you got other things to do. A couple other quick thank yous to you, Mayor, Mr. Lozakamp back there, Jolene Winter, and my wife. We all went and served lunch the other day. Had a great great Thursday at the senior center, and the seniors were had their luncheon and were singing their song. So thanks for everyone that made it and took their time in their day to go down there. So that's all I got.
Very good. And it was a great event, very well attended event. I think 102 people, somewhere thereabouts. Absolutely fabulous to see all the smiling faces. Definitely encourage anybody that's in the community that hasn't come to our senior center to stop on out. and, make a visit. Definitely a good time, so.
Cool.
All right.
Councilman?
No official report, just to reiterate, there is no finance committee meeting in December, so no meeting next week, obviously with the holiday. So with that, I would like to, say how happy I am to see Jerry back in his seat. So welcome back, Jerry, and I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's all I have.
Very good. Councilman Aker?
I got a couple things I'd like to say. Jerry, welcome back.
Thank you.
A couple months ago, Jerry and I were riding to Delhi to look at amphitheaters, which we couldn't find. And he's got a screen about big as one of these TVs in his car for navigation. And we were roaming around and people kept looking at him. Finally, he looked at me and said, "What the hell are they looking at?" Well, he had a news broadcast on. He had the moonroof open, windows down. It was a beautiful day. What we hadn't noticed was when we hit a bump, it had jumped to gangster rap. So they really weren't looking at us and who was playing the music. And I think it was an odd thing seeing the he and I in there in the car. But I laughed all the way home for that. And it warmed my heart to see you come back tonight, Jerry. Glad to see it. And the other is a sadder note. I heard tonight Rick Cage has died. He was a good person.
Yes, he was.
A great artist and a good friend. And I'm going to miss him. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman?
Regarding the Mayor's Fund, the schools had a food and clothing drive, and we fell kind of short this year for distributing everything to our families that are in need, along with the ones from the Mayor's Fund. So tomorrow, as a push, we are accepting more donations of food and clothing items at any of the schools in the Southwest Local District. And also we have a QR code where you can go on and you can make a monetary donation and we'll be able to purchase more things for them. So that would be a nice thing to do for the holiday. And Merry Christmas to everyone.
And you'll be wearing bingo wear?
No,
When
we
is
did
that?
not make our goal, so I will not. Sorry.
How much more you need?
Just so everyone knows, she's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Hey, shh.
I can
I need
issue her
votes.
home address. if need be.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Councilwoman Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. Just some helpful holiday tips from the Harrison Police Department. The members of the Harrison Police Department would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe and joyous holiday season. Christmas is a time of year during when many of us will be busy shopping, running errands in order to be ready for the holiday celebration. We must not forget that criminals will also be out about looking for easy targets to make big scores. Here are some simple tips that can reduce your chances of becoming a victim of crime during the holiday season. Never leave your car running, unlocked, or unattended. In parking lots, always be aware of your surroundings. Park in the well-lighted areas of the parking lots at night. Don't display large sums of cash. Use credit cards or personal checks whenever possible. Always have your keys in your hand when walking in parking areas. When possible, shop with a friend or spouse. Never leave valuables inside your vehicle in plain sight. This is what criminals look for in an easy target. Always scan the parking lot for suspicious persons or vehicles before you park or exit your vehicles. Report all suspicious persons and vehicles to store employees or police immediately. Do not display gifts under your tree visible through a front window of your home. Although this looks very pretty, it's very attractive to would-be thieves. Please remember to lock the doors of your house and close your garage door. Don't drink and drive. Use the designated driver or let a friend drive. Drive sober or you'll be pulled over. Our next police committee meeting will be held on January 21st, 2025 at 5:45 p.m. Jerry and I were also very much friends of Rick Gage's. When my brother was killed 25 years ago, we wanted a updated picture of my brother with his rocker on his uniform. And Rick did a pencil drawing of my brother that still hangs in our house. It's a beautiful portrait, and he sure was a talented, nice man. And please don't forget, all the troops are serving all over the world for all of us. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. That's all I have, Mayor.
Are there any more items to discuss? Okay, we do have a brief executive session. So with that, we'll adjourn to executive session.